Hey, YA. We are in Luke chapters 7 and 8 today. Chapter 7 starts out by two pretty amazing miracles that Jesus performs. The first one is when a centurion comes to Jesus and he says to him, "My servant is sick and I want you to heal him, but I really didn't even want to bother you with this. And I know that when I speak to my men, I can give an order and they'll do what I say without me even being there. And I know that you have that same authority. And if you just say the word, my servant can be healed." And it says that Jesus was absolutely amazed at his faith. And sure enough, when they went back and checked on his servant was healed without Jesus ever even having to step foot in the house. Then there is a funeral going on. There is a widow and her only son has died, and there is a funeral procession going on. And Jesus sees the woman and he says, "Do not weep." And he goes up and he touches the casket and he says, "Young man, I say to you, arise." And the dead man sat up and began to speak. So people are freaking out and absolutely amazed by what Jesus is doing, and people are talking. And two of John the Baptist's disciples, they go to visit John the Baptist, who's in jail at this time, and they are telling John about these miracles that Jesus is doing. Now remember that John is not only the forerunner of Jesus, who is saying, "Prepare ye the way of the Lord," but he's also his cousin. And so John is in prison, and I think that he is thinking, okay, Jesus is the Messiah. He is probably going to overthrow this Roman government who has me imprisoned. And so he sends two of his disciples to Jesus, and he says, "Are you the one who is to come, or should we look for another?" And it says, "In that hour, he," meaning Jesus, "healed many people of diseases and plagues and evil spirits, and on many who were blind he bestowed sight." And he answered John's disciples and he said, "Go and tell John what you've seen and heard. The blind receive their sight, the lame walk, lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up, the poor have good news preached to them." And so he's not answering John's question straight out. What he's doing is he's pointing him back to Isaiah's prophecies about what the Messiah is going to do. And so he's pointing John back to these prophecies and saying, "Look, I'm fulfilling these prophecies." And then verse 23 says, "And tell John, and blessed is the one who is not offended by me." John had this expectation of who he thought Jesus was going to be and what he thought Jesus was going to do. And John is still in prison, and Jesus is not doing for him what he thought he was going to. And he starts to question if he's really the Messiah or if he should look for another. And so I wonder today if sometimes you have those same doubts. If you sometimes wonder if you should be looking to something else or someone else because God is not doing for you what you think he should be doing. And what I would say to you is take heart, because your Messiah has come and he has fulfilled the prophecies and he is coming again. So blessed is the one who is not offended by him. When your expectations of Jesus are not fulfilled, remember what he came to do and that he has done it for you and that he is coming again. So read Luke chapters 7 and 8 and hide it in your heart.